Good morning, Key Stage 1. I have another assembly for you today, and we're still thinking about this term's key of move outside. And what an amazing day for me to be outside filming. It feels like the start of spring, even though we're only at the start of February. I'm down by the river at a place called Caversham Court Gardens. I wonder how many of you have already been there. It's one of my favourite spots. And whenever I come here, I think how lucky we are in Caversham to have so many beautiful places to come outside and enjoy nature and enjoy everything that the environment has to offer us. But there's a reason I came down here. For today's story, when I was reading it, I thought about one particular spot in Caversham Court Gardens. Let me take you there now. So, I'm here in front of my favourite tree. I'll find out what it is later. I think it's a giant redwood, but I'll check that for you. And I just love this tree. First of all, it's absolutely enormous. Couldn't wrap my arms around it even if there were three of me. But also, I've always thought it was a little bit magical. If you look up into its branches, it's got twisted branches all curling around each other. And I've always thought that there must be some kind of fairies or little people or little elves that live up there. So that's a hint about today's story. So I think the author and illustrator of today's story had the same idea as me. She has written a book called The Tree Keepers. The Tree Keepers by Gemma Kuman. At the edge of the woods there is a great tree. Peep through the branches and you might just see some little people who stand as tall as your thumb and have their heads the size of hazelnuts. They are the Tree Keepers. If you look very closely, you'll see the tree keepers busy working together. They polish the buds, harvest the fruit, and collect the dew. Nurture and mend, gather and tend, that's what tree keepers do. But tree keepers have fun too. You'll see them playing catch the acorn, twig tag and tug the vine. Well, you might not see everyone doing that. You probably won't notice Sylvia at all. She likes to be alone, looking for the right shaped twig or petal to put in her basket. Sylvia brings these treasures back to her little hollow. Here she plays her favourite games for hours, out of sight of the other tree keepers. It's her special, secret place. But one wild and windy spring day, Sylvia finds someone else there. "This place is taken," says Sylvia. "You'll have to go." But the baby bird just chirps loudly. Sylvia reaches out to stroke its soft, scruffy feathers. "I think you're lost," says Sylvia. "I'll look after you. What's your name, little Scruff?" "Scruff," copies the chick. Scruff takes a little bit of getting used to. He is noisy and messy and always hungry. But is also sweet and chirpy and loves to play Sylvia's games. The new friends do everything together. But there's one thing Scruff can do that Sylvia can't. Wait, says Sylvia. I want to fly too. Sylvia looks at the drop below. It's scary, but she holds on tight and closes her eyes. Whoosh! Up here the world looks different, bright and breathtaking. All day long, Scruff and Sylvia explore new places. They eat new things and meet new friends. As the light begins to fade, Scruff soars into the sky. What has he seen? These new friends look just like Scruff. He chirps happily as he swirls and twirls with the other starlings. Sylvia holds on tight. Careful, she says to Scruff, but he just flies faster and faster with the others. Until... Wow, says Sylvia, as the flock of birds swoops and loops together, thousands of wings beating as one. Sylvia realizes something. Scruff isn't lost anymore. When the moon begins to rise, Scruff takes Sylvia home to the twinkling lights of the great tree. As Sylvia hops off onto the branch, it's time to say goodbye. Sylvia is very sad. She knows the flock is where Scruff belongs. But things are too quiet without him. Her special secret place doesn't feel the same, and none of the twigs or petals have the right shape anymore. Then one day, an acorn rolls down the stairs towards Sylvia. "Do you want to play with us?" says a girl. Sylvia thinks about her lonely secret hollow and about Scruff flying high with the flock. And then Sylvia, who has always said no before, nods. I think after having had so much fun with Scruff, Sylvia's worked out that it's great fun to have friends. As time goes on, Sylvia finds she likes playing with the others. Soon she has made many new friends. In the calm of the den, they stitch garlands and make stick birds while Sylvia tells stories of a wild dance in the sky. Everyone always If you peek through the branches of the great tree today, you'll almost certainly see Sylvia, leaping, dancing and playing with friends old and new. Nurture and mend, gather and tend. Sylvia is a tree keeper, and that's what tree keepers do. I wonder who noticed the change of scenery in that story. My phone ran out of battery while I was filming, and so now I'm filming at school. And in the matter of just a couple of days, it's gone from the most beautiful, warm, sunny spring day to a snowy, wintry, cloudy, stormy day. I wonder if you can see the snowflakes floating down behind me. So I definitely think that there are tree keepers just like Sylvia and her friends in the huge tree at Caversham Court Gardens. I found out the name of it is a Wellingtonian, named after the Duke of Wellington, and it's the biggest tree in the world. It comes from America. Not the tallest, but the biggest. So why don't you go down to Caversham Court Gardens this week when you're moving outside and see how many of you and your family it takes to hug your hands around the tree. And why don't you have a look up into its twisted magical branches and see if you can see any tree keepers. But there are lots of other things you can do at Caversham Court Gardens too. Why don't you go down and have a try and see if you can Thank you for listening, Key Stage 1. Enjoy moving outside. Bye.